A place where cringe thrives. Where cringe roams freely.
Hey guys, if you don't already know me, my name is Tomas and I am a licensed hairdresser, cosmetologist based in New York City. For today's video, it's not going to be as informative as I would want my videos to be, but today I felt like it was a good idea to step back from the information and just share with you guys some funny cringe stories that I've had in my career. Honestly, today's video is all about entertainment, so you're gonna watch me, you're gonna watch my face. There's not really gonna be much gifts going on, or probably no gifts. I don't even know yet, but none whatsoever. Today's just entertainment with Tomas. Okay. By the way, just to give you guys background, I love doing blow dries. It's one of my favorite things. During cosmetology school, I would get a lot of compliments on my blow dries. So one of my funniest stories was one day I had this beautiful woman with thick, beautiful curly hair, and she wanted to get hair color done at her roots. Once I'm done, I take care of her, I shampoo her hair, I condition, I'm gonna get her over back to the chair. So while I blow dry her hair, everything's coming out really nice. Her hair's super shiny. I'm like all obsessed with the color. And so once I'm done with the blow dry, I like to have like my clients kind of like face down and then like kind of like bring their head all the way back to kind of like, I guess you could say va-va-boom their hair, if that makes sense. The first thing that comes out of her mouth is, "That was a good blow job." You have no idea. I was like this close, this close to being a little dirty. Another moment, like, so this is moving on to when I was apprenticing in Manhattan. Oh my god, like I've had many different experiences. I have had like a strict call center background as well before I was doing hair. So with the call center background, it was kind of like you have to really think ahead over everybody and then like think about the realistic sense of the matter and just be like really on top of everything, on your toes, etc. when it comes to the thinking aspect and customer service. I kind of developed a way of talking to people in a sense that's a little different from that of a hairdresser. So I had a client that she clearly, I mean clearly, was uncomfortable at the shampoo bowl. "Are you okay? Do you feel that that's hurting in any way?" She literally was just like, no, I'm fine. She continues to make this clearly uncomfortable face. And I'm just like, hello, I mean, just be real. Like, you're not comfortable. Your head is like, oh. At some point, I asked her again, I'm like, "Are you uncomfortable?" And she's like, no, I'm fine. I literally don't even know what possessed me. I like snapped on her and I said, no, it's not fine. We need to put a towel. So I ended up getting a bunch of towels and just forcefully told her to get her head off and then put her there. And this was right in front of the colorist I was working with. I felt really bad though, because now that I think about it, it was obviously unnecessary to be that, I guess you could say, stern with the situation. It wasn't that big a deal. And I've of course learned from that situation. And now I know a much better way to handle it. And it's literally to just be like, let me just get some towels for you. I remember another time when I was taking care of a client that I had no idea, like had like a little mental issue. I told her I love your hair and she said, oh yeah, that's because I swim. We get her to the shampoo bowl. I have a very soft touch naturally, but some clients tend to like a more aggressive shampoo. Usually I start off with kind of a medium tension, so between like soft and the hardest tension. She ends up telling me that I'm doing it too hard and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. So I end up going less, like a lot less actually. She then gets mad again. She's like, oh my god, you're going too hard. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Let me go really soft this time. I'm literally almost barely touching her at this point. And she's like, oh my god, forget it. You're doing it way too hard. You're like, rinse everything off right now. That's it. I'm done. I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm not doing it hard. And she's like, are you arguing with me? Are you arguing with me? And I'm like, oh my god. I didn't even know how to handle that situation because it's like really like I don't even know what to say because I wasn't trying to argue with her. I was literally just re-explaining, I'm sorry, I'm really trying not to do it hard. And I mean, there is a point though, I have to do something. I can't like just not touch your head. That's how you have to shampoo. So it was like one of those like really like, what do you do? And then I couldn't do a proper shampoo on her because she just wanted me to rinse everything out, put conditioner, rinse out, and then get her to the stylist. I was just like, I don't even know. I really don't. I don't know. Anyway. At the end of the day, you know, we all make mistakes and it is what it is. We try our best in everything we do. Let's see what else I'm gonna talk about. One day, I was working with one of the busier colorists in the salon that day, and she was busy. Like, I mean, she had probably like 14 appointments, maybe like 14 or 12, something like that. I don't know. She was very busy. And then there was another colorist also that same day who was also very, very busy. And the clients, some of them like unfortunately looked the same that day because there were so many clients that day. I know with the colorist that I was working with that day, she has a very particular foiling pattern with specific foils. I'm usually able to spot out that colorist clients very easily. But that day with all the clients, for some reason, I ended up almost taking the wrong client because I had like 2 timers. I had one timer for the clients with highlights and another timer for a lady with single process with that same colorist. And I'm just like, my timer goes off for the highlights. And then I go up to this lady thinking it's the client that I'm looking for. And I'm about to like take her and rinse off a section of highlights. And I was a little confused because I then looked at the foils. I'm like, huh, this is a little different. But like, it almost looked the same for some reason. That moment I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, I guess it's her. Well, I saw in her face that she was a little confused. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is not the same client. I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my God, like what am I doing with my life? Oh my God, I'm like confusing clients now. And so it turned out that, you know, luckily the situation was figured out before I made a mistake.
And now, the cringiest moment ever experienced. Are you sure? Wait, are you really sure?
I'm gonna say this is probably the most cringiest moment as so far, and I've seen kind of a lot of cringy stuff, but this one really like tops it for me. They needed somebody to do a blow dry for a client that was getting a lot of services. And mind you, just to give you background, I work at a spa. So it's not just a hair salon, it's a spa in Midtown on 5th Avenue. But we got a lot of high profile clientele that come in. If a client is getting numerous spa services and paying a lot of money, they will give you a complimentary blow dry. If they can't get a stylist, then they'll get an assistant. It's no big deal because at the end of the day, it is complimentary. So they would rather get an assistant. And my manager's like, hey, I have a client for you. If you can like take care of her. And I'm like, sure. I just like, hey, how much hair does she have though? Because I'm kind of busy with my other colorists and stuff. And she's like, oh, she doesn't have that much hair. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Okay, yeah, sure, of course. Let me tell you, honey, when I saw said guess, my jaw dropped. An entire head of beaded extensions. I'm not just saying like she has hair and she has extensions. I'm saying her entire head is extensions. Her natural hair is this short. I don't know where she went to get this done. The only thing to cover the beads was the hairs at the center part here and the perimeter of her hairline. Yeah. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this little itty bitty strand of hair holding on to this thick, massive amount of hair all the way to like the middle of her back. And you'll find out why I'm actually talking kind of sort of bad or in a negative sense about the matter. I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, whoever did your hair, first of all, I give them so much props for somehow getting that hair secure onto that tiny, tiny, tiny strip of hair that is like this long. With all those extensions, you know how long it's gonna take me to shampoo that? It literally took me 20 minutes to shampoo and condition, detangle, towel dry, just that alone. And then it took me another 25 to 30 minutes to get the hair rough dried. So here's the take. There was something off about her. She seemed a little bit like there was like a screw loose almost. And I was wondering what's going on. Like, she seemed normal from the beginning, and then now she seems a little like, what's going on here? I was like kind of seeing how it was going with her hair. Like, I didn't want to promise any particular style because with that kind of hair, it's so hard to do. Like, you have like no hair naturally, and then you have all these extensions. It's almost impossible for me to hide it. Again, I love doing my blow dries and I work really hard at them, but this was one of those situations where it's like, you just gotta do the best you can do. So I'm doing her hair, and she wanted it curly originally, like she wanted beach waves, but then at some point she kind of like rushed it and she was like, okay, no, just do it straight and then put some product here to flatten these, and then that's it. So what she means by that is flatten like the front areas to kind of like cover the beads, and then to flatten this area, which is like this part here, to kind of like these little hairs cover like the beads and whatever. So I'm just like, okay, great, I'll do it. And this is the part that like gets me and how I kind of understood, because normally those kind of extensions no one would really do unless somebody is really that insistent for some weird reason. Most of the time people just get a wig, you know what I mean? Whatever the case is, she got those extensions. When she left, and then like towards the end of the day, the same manager comes back up to me and she says, well, I just want to let you know, like, thank you so much for taking care of the client. It turns out the client actually stole a credit card. Like, what? Okay, all right. Anyway, it all made sense that more than likely she went to numerous places with that same credit card that she stole and would just basically force them, be like, I don't care, just do it. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the price. Just do it. Charge the card. In my entire career as a hairdresser, I've never seen these kinds of extensions done in this way. I've seen some pretty crazy stuff in regards to extensions, but this one, if you're a hairdresser or if you are a client that's seen anything crazy before with hair, why don't you give me a little story in the comments down below, because I would like to hear from you. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Please like and subscribe and click the bell on the right so you can keep up to date with my videos. It really does help let me know that you like watching what I'm putting out for you guys. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.